It's a great time to be a first-time buyer, a buyer of any kind in this current real estate market. There are actually two markets, the condo market and the freehold or castle market. In most sectors of the freehold market, we are still in buyer territory. In some cases, it's a balanced market conditions. But in the condo sector, strictly condo sector, we are entrenched in a buyer's market. High inventory, low demand because of the uncertainty that is in the marketplace, uncertainty with regards to tariffs, and more importantly, with regards to jobs. So job security is playing havoc with a lot of the buyers, particularly first-time buyers. So in this new episode of helping you build wealth through real estate, brick by brick, I'm going to give you everything you need to know if when it comes to being a first-time buyer, what are the incentives, the grants, and the programs that are available for first-time buyers. I'm talking about federal, provincial, and municipal. The first thing that I want to share with you is what it actually means to be a first-time buyer. So, first-time buyer hacks, grants, rebates, and hidden incentives. What you need to know. My name is Nico James-Bock. I am a broker with Keller Williams Co-Elevation Realty in Toronto. Welcome, first-time buyers. Buying your first home is a huge milestone, and it comes with valuable support if you know where to look. This podcast episode covers all the must-know federal and Ontario-based programs, along with the municipal programs, rebates, and incentives that can help you save thousands, not hundreds, but thousands of dollars and make home ownership more achievable. So let's dive in. What qualifies you as a first-time buyer? Well, interestingly enough, there are varying definitions when it comes to federal and provincial programs. So on the federal side, the federal government definition, you are considered a first-time buyer if you haven't owned a home anywhere in the world in the last 4 calendar years leading up to the purchase. So nothing beyond 4 years, but within 4 calendar years leading up to this purchase. From the federal government point of view, you are considered a first-time buyer. Also, you did not live in a home owned by your spouse or common law partner in that same period. So we're talking about 4 calendar years. This applies to the home buyers plan, RSP withdrawal program, First Home Savings Account, or FHSA, tax-free savings plan, and CMHC First Time Home Buyer Incentive, paused as of March 2024, but may return in a new form. The provincial definition, so Ontario-specific grants and land transfer tax rebates, you are considered a first-time home buyer in Ontario if you have never owned a home or interest in a home anywhere in the world. So there's no 4-year or specific time period. It's never. This is from the provincial point of view. If you are married or in a common law relationship, your spouse or partner must also be a first-time buyer. So both of you. You must occupy the home as your principal residence within 9 months of purchase. This applies to Ontario Land Transfer Refund for first-time buyers, which is up to $4,000, as well as eligibility for HCRA or Tarion first-time buyer protections. So let's start with the federal incentives. First-time home buyer incentive. So this is on the federal level. It's FTHBI. It's a shared equity mortgage with the Government of Canada. Offers 5% resale or 5 to 10% in terms of new bills of the purchase price. Repay the same percentage when you sell or after 25 years. Household income has to be less than or equal to $120,000, $150,000 in Toronto, Vancouver, or Victoria, which are the high valued centers in Canada. Borrowing has to be less than or equal to 4 times a qualifying income. Okay, so that's for the first time home buyer incentive, FTHBI. First Home Savings Account, FHSA, also a federal program, tax advantaged savings account launched in 2023. Now, contribute up to $8,000 a year or $40,000 over the lifetime, which is a maximum limit. Contributions are tax deductible. Withdrawals for a home purchase are tax-free. So you can make any kind of withdrawals from this savings account, and those withdrawals are tax-free. Can be used with RRSP HBP for maximum benefit. So you can combine the two savings accounts to achieve the maximum benefit. That is the First Home Savings Account, FHSA. We pass now to RRSP Home Buyers Plan, HBP, also a federal program. Withdraw up to $60,000 from your RRSP tax-free. Must repay over 15 years. Can be combined with the just mentioned FHSA. And must be a first-time buyer or haven't owned a home in 4 years. Then we pass on to the first-time home buyers tax credit, HBTC. This is a non-refundable tax credit up to $1,500. It's based on $10,000 credit times 15% of the federal rate. It's claimed by one buyer or split between spouses. Must live in the home and not have owned a home in 4 years. Remember, we are still talking about federal programs and incentives, so that 4-year limit for being a first-time home buyer applies. Then we now pass on to CMHC. CMHC is a federal entity. So the CMHC mortgage loan insurance with incentives required with minimum 20% down payment, allows as little as 5% down. CMHC Green Home, reduced premium for energy efficiency. So if you buy a green home, you get a reduced premium for that home. It's available through CMHC, Sagan, and Canada Guarantee. That takes care of the federal programs and incentives. We're now passing on to the provincial. So in this case, I will be speaking with regards to Ontario. Land transfer tax rebate. This is a big one simply because in Ontario we have the land transfer tax. There are actually 2 taxes if you live in Toronto, which is the major metropolitan center in Ontario. So on the Ontario side, land transfer tax rebate is a rebate up to $4,000 on Ontario land transfer tax. So this is a rebate that is applied upon purchase. When the land transfer tax has to be paid, you'll get a $4,000 rebate if you are a first-time home buyer. You must occupy the home that you're buying within 9 months, okay? No previous ownership worldwide, so no 4-year limit. This is worldwide. no previous ownership. So this applies strictly to first-time home buyers, first time, period. Rebate prorated if only one buyer is a first timer. So if your spouse has previously owned a home, then it depends on how long they've owned that home, you will get a prorated rebate amount. Then I mentioned the Toronto Municipal Land Transfer Tax. So it's one level down, but it still applies to Ontario if you live in the Toronto municipal area. So it's a separate rebate of up to $4,475 for the City of Toronto. Similar eligibility to Ontario land tax rebate. So whatever the eligibility requirements are for the Ontario land transfer tax, they apply to the Toronto Municipal Land Transfer Tax. Applies to residential homes in Toronto proper. Combined with Ontario rebate for up to $8,475 in rebates total. That's if you're buying in Toronto. Other Ontario programs and local incentives. So there's Enbridge, Save on Energy Rebates. So wherever Enbridge is the supplier, they offer rebates. There's local housing programs in the different regions. So Peel, Durham also have local housing programs for first-time buyers. There's also the Indigenous Housing Initiative. So Indigenous housing initiatives, there are few of them, apply to those that are purchasing housing, and they are first-time Indigenous homeowners. Builders incentives, so cashback, capped fees, and flexible deposits. These are applied not only to first-time buyers, but also to all buyers. But there may be particular incentives for first-time home buyers. And there's Our Borrow. Our Borrow is a unique co-investment company. They will co-invest up to $250,000 to help you reach a 20% down payment and become a homeowner sooner. Now, this applies only to the GTA. I did a separate podcast episode on Our Borough, so you may want to look for that. I will be doing another episode specifically dealing with Our Borough in a future episode. So now you know the key programs to make home ownership affordable. If you need help, I'll match you with the right program. I'll also guide you through every step of the way, and I can help you find your perfect first home. I will also introduce you to a mortgage professional, because remember that the first line of action when considering a purchase, whether you're a first-time home buyer or a repeat buyer, then the first thing that you have to do is to speak with a financial professional, a mortgage broker, speak with your bank, and check your credit rating. You can contact me, and if your first home is a multi-unit residential property, like a condominium or a co-op, I will encourage you to download the CondoWiz Toronto GTA app, which is a Google search engine on steroids, specifically for the multi-unit residential building and or project. So it allows you to save an incredible amount of time when you're doing your research in finding that perfect first home. All of my contact information is in the notes, as well as my social profiles. Ciao, ciao.